if you're into coffee and yapping and makeup, congratulations, you've made it to your Mecca. A lot of my videos are traditionally just makeup videos or like a little vlog style, whatever, or they have a purpose outside of like inspiration or education. However, oh, also, side note, let me tell you this. I got the cold foam from Kroger. It was just like I don't know, it's in a blue. It's in like Coffee Delight Cafe. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, don't ask me. But it's in a blue can with a yellow top. And it's just the sweet cream cold foam. And I put it in the Starbucks cold brew. Oh, it's delicious. It's life-changing. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's wonderful. It is the best iced coffee I've ever had in my house. Just letting you know. Delicioso. Anyways, welcome to today's video. I just like felt the need. I was like, you know what? I feel like I have things to say, things that are on my mind. And a lot of my videos, like I said, are about makeup, or they're not about something deep, intellectual, spiritual, whatever. Not my hair slaying the game. And I feel like there's so much going on. And I feel like there's so much I want to say. And we're going to do that while we talk about makeup as well, because we still want to have fun. I'm marinating, so I'm sitting on a blanket on my bed, but I need to pop my back so bad. Also, thank the good Lord above, my skin has been doing so wonderful. Obviously, there's no filter. It's literally just a camera. And it's high exposure, nevertheless. But my skin has been doing wonderful. Thank God. So I'm happy about that. And I feel like I'm just going to do some spot concealing, that sort of thing. Do some makeup today. I was going to do like a trial for my wedding makeup, but I don't feel like being in full glam today. I feel like more just being, I don't know. So anyways, I'm also, like I said, marinating in tanner. So I'm going to be using the darker shade of my Kylie Cosmetics Skin Tint. And if I'm not telling you guys the products while I'm using them, give me some grace, please and thank you. Because I'm going to be talking and yapping. So get ready for a yappy video. Perhaps go get yourself some coffee. Perhaps a meal. Anyway, is this the right? Yeah. I just want to use a little of this to like make me have some color because she's giving pale. I just did an updated video on TikTok for my eyebrows, if you're interested, because I did just get them done. I love this stuff so much. And I like to work in sections with this. Anyways, I just feel like I want to do so much with my life. And I know a lot of other people feel that way. And I feel like I have all these goals and I have all these things that I want to do. And I have all of these aspirations and like this vision for what I want to do. But getting from point A to point B seems difficult. And so I think that a lot of people get in a rut of, they're just like, oh, well, this is my life. And they accept mediocrity and just, that's it. Like, that's point blank period it. Pardon me. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that way. I saw two friends that I hadn't seen in a really long time yesterday, actually in the grocery store parking lot, and we ended up talking. And I have known her and her husband for years, for a really long time, actually. I didn't even realize. I guess it's been like 8 or 9 years. That's crazy. But anyway, she was like, I remember you and I having conversation, and she was like, we sat down and she said, everything that you are doing in your life right now, you had talked about wanting to do, and like you having that dream, years ago. And she was like, and now it's happening. She was like, I see on your Instagram stories, you're in Beverly Hills, and you're in New York, and you're doing all these things, and you have your company, and you're doing social media, and you have a manager, and blah, blah, blah. And I guess because you live in your everyday life, everything becomes the normal. So like, think of the Kardashians. Their life at one point, like, they were completely normal people. They didn't have the paparazzi like taking pictures of them every place that they went because they were normal people. But now what's normal to them is the paparazzi everywhere. So what you're conditioned to and what you deem as normal is just based on how much it's repeated in your life or how often it occurs. And I was just like, you know what? That's really true. I did want all those things. I did pray for all those things. And so I think it's just really important to, one, set the dreams, set the goals, set the expectations for yourself to be bigger than you, to be larger than life, and to believe in yourself. And like, I was listening to Ed Mylett this morning, and I can put his podcast episode down below. I love Ed Mylett, but he was talking about how you and God are the co-authors of your life, how he has a plan for you and a purpose for you, and how you literally have the DNA that he gave you, and that you are his child, and that he's going to take care of you and all the things. There's a lot that goes into that, you know, if you believe in God, have a relationship, etc. But even if you don't, you were still created with a purpose. He still put a purpose in you. And there's a reason that you're on the earth. And so anyways, he was talking about how a lot of people don't tap into that. They don't tap into their potential. And so they see other people doing it. And he was like, it's so easy to become a normal person, to stay a normal person, rather than be an exceptional person. And to be an exceptional person, you have to do exceptional things. You have to go above and beyond. You have to do things that sometimes you don't want to do, and make sacrifices that you don't necessarily want to make, or, you know, put in the extra hours. But think about like Tiger Woods. He kept telling himself he was the best. His parents kept telling him he was the best. And he believed it. He also put the work into it. And I mean, you could use that with any example, but I'm just saying, in general, I feel like a lot of people just don't think that they can do what they see other people doing. And I want to encourage you and be like, hey, TBH, you can. Like, you absolutely can. Nothing is as special about me other than the fact that I took what I wanted to do and what I thought I could do and did it. I was talking to Sif Hader, who is a friend of mine, but she also owns a company called Array. Array is sold in stores nationwide. It's sold in Dior boutiques in Europe. It is sold in Erewhon. Like, she's an incredible businesswoman. She's a genius. She's so smart, and I'm so blessed to know her. And we were having brunch at Soho House in LA. Now, if you would have told me a few years ago that I would have been having brunch with Sif Hader, the founder of Array, in Soho House in LA, I would have believed you. Because here's the thing, that was my plan. That's what I wanted. That's what I was setting out to do. I had a vision, I had a goal, and I would have believed you because I'd have been like, yeah, that makes sense because I'm working towards that. So like, I would hope that I'd be sitting down there having breakfast with her. But anyway, we were talking and she was like, nothing is special about me. And you look at her and you're like, you know, you're a multimillionaire. You've created this company from the ground up with your husband. You've done so well. And she was just saying to me, like, I am a completely normal human. I wake up the same as everybody else. I do the same things as everybody else. Or I don't necessarily, she didn't do the same things as everybody else. But she was like, I also put my pants one leg at a time. You know, put on my pants one leg at a time. But we just had this idea in our heads, I feel like, of a lot of people think what they want is out of reach, or they're not the person that should be doing it. But I'm here to tell you that if you have a dream, or you have an aspiration, or you feel like you have a calling, it's not there for no reason. God did not give you that for no reason. Now, the difference between the people who actually go after it and the people who don't, there's a difference between them, obviously, because the one is going to say, okay, even though this is difficult, even though this is a difficult feat and I don't know how to get from point A to point B, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to try. You know, whenever I started my company, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any followers. I didn't have anything like that would make you be like, oh yeah, she should start a company. But I had faith that it was going to work out, and it did. And there were a lot of failures before it ever actually did work out, but in the end, it worked out. And I'm 25 years old and live to tell the tale. It's not like I'm 60 years old and I'm like, well, you know what, finally worked out. No. Now, does it work out on different times and like different time schedules? Yeah, absolutely. What God has planned for you, he doesn't have planned for me. And what he has planned for me, he doesn't have planned for you, because we have different abilities. We have different DNA. We have different sets of skills. But anyways, I was listening to Ed Mylett, and it was just so encouraging because he was saying, you're the person who writes your narrative. So if you don't like it, change it. If you don't like where you're at in life, literally change it. And also to stop playing victim. Whenever I was growing up, I was never allowed, per se, to be whiny. My dad was always like, stop being whiny. Don't be whiny. Be tough. Don't be so whiny on like the circumstances of life, because what is whining going to do? So Ed Mylett was talking, and he reminds me of my dad, and I think that's why I resonate a whole lot with like the content that he puts out. Is it just reminds me of the way that my dad said things growing up, and the kind of things that he taught me. But anyways, he was saying a lot of people do have difficult issues, whether it's your job, your kids, an illness, a heartbreak, a set of circumstances, whatever it is. And he was talking about how, yes, you are allowed to be sad about those things. Those things are absolutely valid to be upset about, whatever the case may be. But how long are you going to allow that to like keep you in a chokehold? How long are you going to allow that to keep you from a place that you could be? How long are you going to allow that to keep you from happiness, from joy, from peace, from moving on, from finding love again, or praying for healing, or believing in healing, or doing things to better your health? If you're sitting there and you're struggling with health, but then you're fueling your body with McDonald's and Arby's and fast food and fake sugars and all these things, why complain if you're doing something to fuel the fire? How about you do something to not fuel the fire? And I don't mean that in an insensitive way. I mean that as in, like, let's be realistic way. If you're sitting there and you're heartbroken and you're just looking at pictures from your past relationship, or you're dwelling about what they did, what do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, I think that we have to truly, if we want to live a set apart life and we want to do a really good job and we want to be exceptional and we want to have these things and we want to do these things, we have to set ourselves apart. Like, people who are exceptional do exceptional things. People who are outstanding do outstanding things. People who are extremely fit put their body through a lot so that their body can be really fit, so that they can eat really healthy, so they can live longer, so that their muscles are stronger, so that they are just overall healthy, so that they look good, so they have confidence, so that they feel good and they perform better in their life. You know what I mean? So I hope this is making sense. I think it is. But it just like sparked something in me today where I was just like, I want to do more. And I always think to myself, like, on the back end, there are always a lot of things going on for what I want to do, like dreams, aspirations, hopes, etc. And more than anything, I don't want to, I've seen this meme 1,000 times and I think about it, I swear to you, at least weekly. And it's about this person who gets to heaven and, you know, he's like looking and he's like, you know, are you going to tell me job well done? And then God's like, yeah, job well done. He's like, okay, but here's this. And God shows him a picture of all the things that he could have done, all the things that he could have done to reach his potential, or showed him his potential of like, this is the life that you could have had you listened to me. This is the life you could have had you done exceptional things, had you gone above and beyond. And also to note on that, I think that a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm not good enough or I'm not capable enough, whatever. Literally today while I was in the gym, it's like one of the cleanest gyms I've ever been to in my entire life. Literally, it's kind of insane. And they have people going around constantly cleaning. I'm talking like vacuuming, spraying things down, dusting. Like, they will literally have you pick your feet up. Like, you'll be on the leg extension machine while your legs are up. They're vacuuming under, okay? Like, they're in there cleaning. But they have little bottles set out every single day for you to, like, clean up your machine, clean, disinfect, etc. after you get done. Honestly, I don't really ever do that because I'm like, they're coming behind me anyways. But I was thinking today, I was like, if I want to go above and beyond, if I want to do exceptional things, I have to start with the little things. It's not like I have to start a multi-billion-dollar company right now. I have to start with the little things and start perfecting those things and taking pride in those things in order for me to become the person that I want to be and to be as successful as I want to be. It starts so small. If you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, he talks about that. He talks about how you start these habits and you do them so small and then it becomes a part of your regular everyday life, and then you're able to do other things and you're able to be more successful in that. But I took my cleaning stuff and I cleaned up my area. Even if they were coming behind me to clean it, I cleaned it because it was just something that I was like, I can do this. One, to be a helper, because if they saw me clean it, then they are not going to have to clean it. Two, it's going to be clean for the next person if they don't get to come over here and you know, clean up before the next person sits down or gets on this machine or whatever. And three, it was just something that was like, I know that I've done my job, and it's like, job well done. You know what I mean? And it's something little. If you're working in an office and somebody left something out, pick it up for them. Don't pick it up so you can be like, oh, well, I picked up your stuff. Don't do it for that. Do it because it's an exceptional thing to do. People who are exceptional go above and beyond. They don't just do their job. They do their job very well, and they do a little bit extra and continue to do that. So I need to contour my face. To be fully honest with you, this has been absolutely beautiful. This is the Dior contour stick. I've been putting it in my hand because you guys know I just like to do that. But anyways, I've been putting it in my hand. And then I'm going to use this cream buffer brush from Tennille J. She followed me on TikTok and I nearly threw up. It was a beautiful experience in my life. Anyways, this is like my perfect tan shade. And because I am self-tanning, I do want to warm up the face. But anyways, I have these goals and I have these ambitions and things, and it's like, I forget that I worked really hard to be in the position that I am, and I don't want to be content. And I think even full vulnerability, that goes into my relationship with God, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing so much that I always wanted to do, and I'm living the life that I've always wanted to live. So sometimes, without even thinking about it, my brain's like, okay, well, maybe you don't need to do your devotional today, or maybe you don't need to like spend as much time praying today, or maybe you know, you can skip today because you're doing really good. But those are the times where you need God the most, because you want to rely on him, and you want to, I don't want to say need him the most, but you need him all the time. But it's like, I don't want to be naive to how much I rely on him for the air in my lungs, for my health, for me sitting here, for me having a platform, for all the things. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't even be here. If it weren't for my health, and if you don't believe in God, or you don't have a relationship with him, okay. But let me tell you something. If you're on your deathbed and you're like, crap, I'm really, really sick, I might die, you might start to change your mind, honestly. And I hope that it doesn't take that, obviously, to change your mind. I'm just saying, you can feel a difference. in having a relationship with God and not, and seeing how he can work in your life, and seeing how many blessings that he pours in whenever you actually start trying to have a relationship with him. So anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that, honestly. Oh, it's sometimes easier to just be like, oh, well, I don't need to do my devotional today, or I don't need to do whatever. But I don't want to be that way. I want to seek God the most and be like, okay, what do you want me to do? Because you know what's going to happen. Like, he knows my next move, my next 30 moves, my next 87 moves, my kids' moves, my kids' moves, all the things. So, like, why would I not talk to the creator of the universe? Why would I not talk to the one who gave me this DNA, who gave me these dreams, who gave me the aspirations, who gave me the characteristics, talent, and availability to be able to do them? Why would I not conversate with him? You know what I mean? That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts on that, though. I'm going to put a little bit more bronzer. Also, look how shiny. I don't know if you can see how shiny that is, but it's gorgeous now. That's just how I feel about that. So I'm really working on, okay, what is my next move? What do I want to do? What do I feel like is God's calling me to? What do I feel like is going to be the best thing for me in this new season? Because I'm about to be a wife. I'm fully about to be a wife in less than 2 weeks, which is insane. But yeah, less than 2 weeks, I'm going to be a wife. I'm going to be a partner, a literally lifetime partner. I'm vowing to someone that I'm going to love them unconditionally forever, and then I'm going to be the best person that I can for the both of us. And I'm walking into this new season, and I'm like, yes, I'm ready, and I'm excited, and I'm ready to go, but I'm also like, hey, this is a big new season. This is going to bring challenges and hardships and also the best of times. And I'm really excited about it, but I want wisdom and peace and knowledge going into it, and I want his help. So it's just like, no matter what season you're in, either you went through a storm, you just went through one, you just came out of one, you're about to go in another, whatever the case may be, I would just really encourage you to have a relationship with God and rely on him and see what he wants you to do, because I don't know if you feel the same way, but my biggest fear is getting to heaven and God being like, hey, you could have done this, you know? And I don't necessarily think that's actually going to happen. It was just something to say. It was not a meme, but like a picture to say, don't waste your time on earth. Make it the best that you possibly can. Also, side note, and I told y'all there was going to be a yapping video. I told you. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But anyways, there was a comment on my video with Chase whenever we were in the Avalon in Atlanta. And I had told this story about a woman that I met who had a ring that was 10 carats, 10 carat emerald cut ring. And somebody from Europe commented, and they were like, I just don't understand why people in the United States put so much emphasis on being rich or on money or wealth or whatever. It's not like that in Europe. And people had liked it and stuff. And I guess it's been 2 or 3 weeks now since I posted that video. And I just kind of have thought about that quite a few times. And I think for me, growing up, it was never, I think that some people are taught like money's a bad thing, having money's a bad thing, having wealth is a bad thing, having things or putting your value in things, that's bad. Now, do I think that putting your value in monetary items is bad? Yeah, I do. I don't think that you should value money, jewelry, any I don't think you should idolize anything. But let me tell you something. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being good at your job. There's nothing wrong with working hard and having money. There's nothing wrong with going into a store and buying something that you want. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing wrong with having a 10 carat diamond ring if that's what you want. You can still be the same person with $1 in your bank account or $1 billion in your bank account. Point blank, period. So to me, it's a sign of success. It's a sign of, I worked really hard for this. It's a sign of, I'm walking out my purpose. I'm carrying out my purpose. I am designed to do this. God made me be able to do this. So why would I not want to celebrate that? Why would I not want to have like a new purse? Why wouldn't I want to have a cool diamond ring? Do I think that it's going to change my life and make me happier? No. I don't think it's going to like be a life altering experience, but I think that it's fun. I think God wants us to have fun. I think he wants us to enjoy things. He enjoyed things. He gave the people who, oh gosh, I got that in my eyeball. It's okay. He gave people in the Bible cool things. They wore nice things. They wore rubies. They wore jewels. They had, based on their garment color, was like how much money they had. And he didn't say like, oh, this is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing when it becomes an idol over him. Yeah, absolutely. But to answer the person's question, if you are watching and you're from Europe and you were confused, I don't view money as a bad thing. I don't view money as anything other than a means to an end and as something fun. I don't think that it has to be bad. I think that you should work hard. The Bible literally says, if you don't work, you're not going to eat. So, with all that being said, all 20 minutes and 22 seconds so far of that being said, I hope that you don't find it to be a bad thing. I hope that you weren't raised. And if you were raised, I encourage you to open your mind and be like, you know what? Money's a sign that I'm being successful, that I'm working towards what I want to do, that I'm either walking in purpose, getting closer towards purpose, or that you're being blessed for walking in your purpose, whatever. But having money and having things is not a bad thing. It is absolutely not. So I don't know why that's in like people's heads, or why people in Europe are so confused about that. Like, yes, you should absolutely enjoy your life. I enjoy my life to the fullest, but there's also nothing wrong with me getting a new purse, me getting a ring, me getting a new car, whatever. Doesn't matter. I need a drink. I've been yapping. I'm going to go in with this. I've been loving this beautiful blush. This is in the shade Hope from Rare Beauty. I love Rare Beauty blushes. I really, really do. But to be honest with you, I don't know anybody who doesn't. Also, I really and truly think that dirty makeup brushes work better than clean makeup brushes. Like, I've also been loving this blush. This is the shade Not Too Much from Patrick Ta. Anyway, let me know your all's thoughts. Do you like a coffee and yap video? Do you like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm sticking to beauty. Like, this is not becoming my niche by any means right now. But nevertheless, what are your thoughts? I just want my channel, want all of the avenues of social media that I'm on to be encouraging to people, and to be like, you know what? Look yourself in the mirror and be like, what do I want? What do I want? What do I feel like I'm called to do? This Chase calling me right now.
I got everything like ready, and Bobby and Lucas waited on me to hit. But I was just telling you, like, what? We're just out here.
Send me a picture of it.
I will. I'll FaceTime when we're on some of the holes, but I got to go sign up, and they were putting on the green waiting on me. But it's wild.
Slay, babe. Good. It's a pretty day to play.
Yeah. So I'm going to play 9, then I'll come back home.
Okay, babe.
All right, love you.
Love you. Bye. Let me talk about that too, while we're on this subject, even though we're kind of not. Having a relationship that is sent from God himself, and that to have somebody who's so precious and so kind and so nice, and literally just called me to tell me that the golf course was pretty that he's playing on. Excuse me. He's an angel. He's literally actually an angel. He just is so nice and wonderful and precious. And I'm really blessed to have somebody who I miss if he goes to pee in the next room. But anyways, I think that's another thing. Is like, you have to think so highly of yourself. You have to, well, not in like a conceited mannerism sort of way, but like, you have to think highly of yourself to expect people to treat you well, to expect people to treat you with respect, to expect people to treat you with love and care and kindness, and like how you would want to be the energy reciprocated, you know? You guys, my back is hurting. I look like a tortoise. Anyway, I was talking to one of my friends, and she was talking about how this guy has been so nice, and we were talking like, oh yeah, what's he doing? You know, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, he's opening doors and he's doing X, Y, Z. And I'm like, yeah, so in the nicest way, the bare minimum. Why aren't these men opening doors anyways? Like, why is that like outlandish for a man to open a door these days? I'm like, Lord, honey, men have been opening doors since the beginning of time. What happened? What happened? You know? But anyways, having somebody that is very precious and very kind and very loving and very genuinely good is one of the best things in the world. But I really think that you have to value yourself, and you have to look at yourself and be like, what do I bring to the table? Why would somebody want to treat me that way? And while I was single, I took a lot of time and put a lot of effort into making myself the best version of me for that time period that I possibly could, for that reason, so that I would be loved the way I felt like I deserved to be loved, and that I wouldn't accept anything less. You know that I'm using the Tom Ford Honeymoon palette. These two shades right here. But anyways, I just want you to work on yourself. Work on yourself. Listen to podcasts. Read books. Do the things that make you happy, that fulfill you, that fill your cup. that bring value to your life, think big. And then whenever you think you're thinking big, think even bigger. If you think, gosh, there's no way I could do that, you're not thinking big enough. Think above and beyond, because we're talking about the man who quite literally made the cells inside your body, made you who you are, made your parents who they are, who has a plan for you, who made the trees, who made the color of the trees, who made the seasons, who made the ocean, who made every bit of physics and every realm under science a thing, okay? So if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I could never do this, I could never switch jobs, I could never break up with my partner, I could never, not if you're married, that's completely different, you vowed, sweetheart. Go to counseling, okay? Unless you're cheating. But anyways, like if you're scared to do something, good, be scared, be uncomfortable, truly, be uncomfortable, because being comfortable means you're not growing. Gosh, that coffee's good. Anyways, so if your parents didn't teach you that, I hope that I can teach you that and be like, hey, listen, you're worth more than you think you're worth. You have a lot of value that you bring to the table. You can do hard things. You should be doing hard things. You should be challenging yourself. You should be challenging people around you. You should be the person that you want to be. Like, God forbid something happen. And I'm not being like, oh, you died tomorrow. But like, let's be for real. Would you be happy with the way that things ended? Or would you be like, oh, dang, I wish I would have done this. Or I wish I would have tried this or whatever. Do it. Nobody, like, it's crazy at first to everybody. Me doing social media, me starting a company whenever I had literally no followers, that was crazy. That was a little psychotic. But it's only crazy till it works out. It's only crazy till it happens. And you got to believe in yourself, and you got to have the confidence, and you got to cultivate God confidence. That's one of the verses, I believe in Proverbs, and it literally says in my version, cultivate God confidence. It's you're like, listen, okay, I feel like you called me to do this, you gave me this dream, you set me apart, and if I'm supposed to be doing this, then you're going to see it through. And you just have the God confidence, and you're like, okay, point blank period, like it's just going to happen. And you put the confidence in him because he's never failed, literally anybody, at anything. And point blank period, it's going to happen. So, believe in yourself. Believe in God. Allow him to be the co-author of your life. Work really, really, really hard. It's not going to be easy. Life's not easy. Wasn't meant to be. Keep growing. Keep LIVIN. You know what? Put me and Matthew McConaughey on a podcast together. We'll just... Oh, I can't believe I did that. Whoopsie. We'll just inspire the heck out of you. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how I'm going to do the wedding day. Every freaking time I think about my wedding and my dad walking me down the aisle, I lose it. I miss like doing my makeup and bawling my eyes out. I cannot cry. I just did my makeup. Oh gosh, what's happening? Ow. I'm going to try not to cry down the aisle, but I know that I'm going to. And then when I get up there, I'm going to look maybe heinous. And I'm really not trying to look heinous. But I'm telling you guys, that's why I'm like terrified. Is because, oh, that's soaking wet. Like, I'm just going to have to wait for that to dry. I was trying to do my mascara. Got one side done. Anyways, I am so terrified of walking down the aisle with my dad because I know that I'm going to bawl my eyes out and he's going to cry and everybody's going to cry. And it's going to be awful because everybody's going to be bawling their eyes out. And every time I think about it, I cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do the day of the wedding? And I'm like glammed up and I'm walking down the aisle. Let me know. I would like you to know that I literally cried. Like hard cried. Not hard cried, but like I cried. I had like stripes down my face, so. Anyways, I'm terrified for the wedding day. For so many reasons. But anyway, we're moving on. It's gonna be okay. I don't even know why it's like so emotional. If anybody has any tips, I'm literally begging you. I'm begging you to help me. Because I'm not gonna cry again. I'm genuinely not. But like I am very close with my dad. He's like my favorite human on earth besides he's just, we're the same. My dad and I are just like, we're one and the same. And I might get choked up, but I'm not gonna cry. It is just so like difficult, I guess, because we are so close, and I feel like that's like literally nothing's changing. It's just like the ceremonial whatever, because it's like nothing in my life is literally changing at all. With Chase and I, like, I feel like we've been functioning kind of like we're married for a while, just because of like the long distance and like the way we treat each other and all the things. So like, yes, I'm making a vow to him, but I feel like nothing familial is changing. But it's just like the whole leaving your parents to become married, like become a unit sort of thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's literally terrifying. Or it's not terrifying, it's just like, I don't want to cry the whole time. And like, it's like daddy's little girl kind of thing. It's so difficult. Like, if I have one most influential person in my life, it's my dad. Oh my gosh. Anyways, and I don't want to cry the whole time. I don't want to cry at all, actually, but like every freaking time I think about it, I just start crying, and I don't even know why. And I don't want to like see him on the wedding day and then bawl my eyes out and be like, oh, now I have to go walk down the aisle. Like, what am I going to do? Heavily? Might have to carry me down the aisle. Somebody just like let me know when I need to say my vows, because I'm gonna be a goner. Not actually, but maybe. Anyways, I don't know. Like, I'm telling you guys, every time that I freaking think about it, I just start crying my eyes out. And that's not gonna be the vibe. That's not gonna be good for pictures. It's not gonna be good for my puffy face. No, thank you. So anyways, this video really took a turn. Slay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the part where I wasn't crying and having an emotional breakdown. I hope you guys go get this freaking sweet cream stuff from Kroger, because it's delicious. Genuinely. But anyways, thanks for watching. This was psychotic. This is the most psychotic ending to a video I've ever had in my entire life. Also, what do you guys think about like wedding hair and makeup? My dress, I'm not gonna tell you about my dress, because it's actually, I will tell you, it's doesn't have straps. It doesn't have straps. It has a little something up here, but it doesn't have straps. So what do you think for hair and makeup? Like, you guys have seen my videos if you have watched before and you like know. I'm thinking I'm gonna do like middle part, honestly, like waves like this, but I don't know how I'm gonna do my glam. I want it to look like me. Somebody made a video and they were like, why does bridal makeup have to be so cakey? Or like, why does it have to be camera makeup or whatever, when the man is also in the video or the pictures and he's not wearing a stitch of makeup and he still looks really good? Like, why do I need 7 layers of foundation and contour and all the things on? So I think I'm going to do literally like my everyday makeup that looks really natural and pretty, and then just have the pictures like that. Like, let's be for real. I don't want to look like a psycho. I don't want to be self-conscious at my own wedding and be like, oh my gosh, my like face looks crazy. So anyways, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry for the psychotic ending, but nevertheless, that's the look, and that's the makeup, and that's the little inspirational, educational coffee, makeup, and yapping. I would like to start a segment. If you enjoyed this, let a girl know. Hope you guys have a fabulous day.